Hey cruisers, welcome. It's so nice to have all of you here. Hope everyone is doing wonderfully this Tuesday night. We're so loving the idea of starting off our month with a live stream with all of you to talk about cruising because OMG, have things been changing quickly or is it just me? Have you guys noticed that? In the chat, the live chat right now, please tell me what changes you have seen this week in the cruise world, and we can all discuss that and marvel over it tonight. It is just something to behold. We have vaccine requirements changing, we have mask requirements dropping, we have so many things going on. It's wild. I'm going to drop into the chat and say hello to a few of you that I didn't get to see earlier. Hi Chi, how are you? Seth, I see that you made it in the house. How are you? Nice to have you. What is up, Mel? How are you doing? Thank you so much for being here. Stephen is here all the way from Australia. Renee, I've missed you too. Jim, are you doing okay? I've missed seeing you. We haven't seen you on Amazon for a while. Hope you're doing all right. Connie, you have no sound. Everybody else have sound? Maybe check your settings there and maybe refresh your browser really quickly. Hi, Alex. Hey, Letty, how are you doing? Holly and Brian are here. This is so awesome. So you're all welcome at this point to type any questions you have about cruises in the chat. I'll do my best to answer them. I am not by any means a complete cruise expert, but we are certainly excited to do our very, very best and to try. I do want to address a question earlier that came in from James. James had such a great question. James is basically saying, look, we always cruise on Carnival, but we are going to be cruising soon on Royal Caribbean. Like, what is the difference between Royal Caribbean and Carnival? And there's so many differences. I'm going to go through some of them for you, James, but I'd love to invite everyone who's here in the chat who have cruised with both Carnival and Royal Caribbean. If you'd like to note some of those differences, please go ahead and do that. Steve said, I've fallen behind on the recent cruise changes. I know, it's been really, really busy. Bev, I think that they're working on that. I'll get to that question soon. I know, any cruise questions? I'm sure we're gonna have lots of cruise questions, Seth, for sure, for sure. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about the differences between Carnival and Royal Caribbean, because there's so many differences that we could go on for an hour on just this topic alone, but I think that there's a couple of really key things that are kind of different about the line. In my opinion, like some of the first things that come to mind for me are Royal Caribbean has very different entertainment than Carnival. Carnival sort of has their standard production shows and things like that. And Carnival's focus on entertainment is also very much around like the sail away party and deck parties and things like that. And it's not that Royal Caribbean doesn't have sail away parties and deck parties, but there's really more of a focus on that fun pool party around the pool kind of atmosphere on Carnival, whereas Royal Caribbean kind of spreads the parties all around, and you're not going to necessarily have that big sail away party event on a Royal Caribbean ship. It's going to be different. Different kind of experience. Typically speaking, Carnival is a value line. That's not to say you can't find Royal Caribbean cruises that are less expensive, but usually you're going to get a better value on a Carnival cruise. Just in general, you can probably find that. Royal Caribbean ships are obviously, they vary in size, but they also have some massive mega ships that are much bigger than Carnival ships. So you have that as well. And a lot of those ships have the promenade kind of focus, right? So they have that interior promenade sort of walkway, which is also kind of a gathering place, a place to go to bars, a place to go eat, a place to hang out and people watch and take photos. And there's so many things that happen on that promenade deck. So that's kind of a central focus for Royal Caribbean ships. Curious to know if anybody else has any differences that are kind of being typed in the chat here between Royal Caribbean and Carnival. I'm going to look at that probably a little bit later, but oh, interesting. Charles said Royal Caribbean has comedians, but Carnival has the comedy clubs and emphasizes that more. Very, very, very interesting. I feel like too on Carnival feels more like a party experience to me, like a party cruise, whereas Royal Caribbean, I don't want to say it's a premium cruise product, but it's a little bit of a different vibe typically. Carnival is a kind of a, I would say almost like a relaxed, laid back party atmosphere, whereas Royal Caribbean is fun and active, and you can probably find a really good party on a lot of Royal Caribbean ships, but it's not always the vibe. Okay, so we've got lots of questions coming in, so we're gonna go ahead and move on to those. Fred says, hi Sherry, first time on, but me and my wife have been enjoying your tips. We've been on 2 cruises, 7 years ago to be planning getting back into it with a 14-day trip on Odyssey to Rome. Oh, Fred, that's going to be wonderful. Awesome. Have a blast. Bev O'Brien said, will the Alaska sailings to or from Vancouver happen? It's hard to say. There's still negotiations happening right now with Canada. And so we really don't know if Canada is going to be in the mix this year or if it's going to end up getting cut out of things again because there are negotiations on vaccine requirements from Canada, from the ships, and all kinds of different things that have to get worked out. So we're just not sure yet. Fallen Brubaker said, what are the rules for people that are not vaccinated? It really varies, Fallen, by ship. Most cruise lines are sailing at 95% or higher vaccinated right now. So there are some cruise lines who are still requiring masks for the unvaccinated, and also there's... Siri, that's not you. And also, Fallen, there are also some cruise lines that have venues for people who are only vaccinated or, you know, things like that. So for the most part, you're going to start to see that kind of even out, but vaccinations are still pretty heavily required across the cruise lines. Suzanne Olson said, what restaurant would you have dinner with two teenagers that don't want to go to formal night? Oh, Suzanne, I don't know what ship you're going on. So I would say probably regardless of the ship, though, I guess it would probably be the buffet, or you could do, just depending on what cruise line it is, maybe another type of a restaurant. Like, for example, if you're on Royal Caribbean, you could go to one of the pizza restaurants, or you could go to like Johnny Rockets or something like that too. Suzanne, if you want to let me know what cruise line you're on, we can do that. Supola said, question, what is the best way to find out which restaurants or eating venues are complimentary on various ships? That's a great question, Susan. And a lot of times what you can do is go to the website for that cruise line and go directly to the ship section of it. And usually there's a dining section, and they have it separated out by complimentary and upcharge. So usually, like if you went to Carnival's website, you should be able to go to the dining section, look at that particular ship, then go to dining, and then they'll tell you which ones are complimentary, which ones are upcharge. If that doesn't work, you want to try to go to a message board and search for some of the newsletters for whatever ship it is that you're going to be cruising on, and look at the dining open times, and if they have little dollar signs next to them, you'll know that there's an upcharge there. Alex Holgado said, any news on mandatory testing? Alex, it's kind of changing by the line and by the day. We're still seeing testing as a pretty major part of it, but it's softening a little bit. I'd say the biggest area where things are softening is masks. Testing is starting to change a little bit, but not a whole lot. And vaccinations are changing a teeny tiny bit, but not a whole lot. So we're seeing it in that order right now. Oh my goodness, you guys, guess who's here? It's Tommy from Always Be Booked. Tommy, thank you so much for the super chat. That was very kind of you. Tommy, are you home from your cruise yet? Tommy just went on a very long cruise. I'm very curious to hear how you've enjoyed it. I've been following you a little bit on social media. And oh my gosh, that guy in the orange leotard, I'm traumatized for life. Just go to Tommy's Instagram and you'll see what I mean. So funny. But thank you, Tommy, for the super chat. And welcome home from your cruise if you're home. And I can't wait to hear all about it. Carmela and Mike Week said, are masks still mandatory on Royal Caribbean Allure of the Seas? I think masks faded out for vaccinated travelers on all Royal Caribbean ships on February 25th. If anybody knows anything different about Allure of the Seas, let's type it in. Cynthia Blinkenstop said, I learned about shareholder benefits for Carnival Cruise Line. Question, does anyone use or have shareholder benefits with their cruise line? Great question, Cynthia. I can tell you that we do. And we do redeem them on our Carnival cruises, on Princess as well, and Holland America. You can do that as well. Do be careful though, because if you book on a certain type of fare, like a discounted fare, you are not going to be able to redeem that $100 or whatever onboard credit it is. They just won't honor it. Tommy said, not long enough. LOL, Gem was amazing. Oh, good. I'm so glad you loved it. So it was Norwegian Gem. Awesome. Welcome home. So cool. Hallman2112 says, Alaska cruises need 100% vaccination out of Vancouver. Serenade of the Seas cancellation. Yeah, I don't know about that. I just know that the cruise lines are still trying to work out with Canada what the rules are going to be, and they have to agree on the rules, or else the cruise lines have said we're going to bypass Canada. I don't know about cruises starting from Vancouver, but I can tell you as far as port stops, if you want to read more about that, you could go to John Heald's Facebook page. Carnival, at least, has said, hopefully we can work this out. We're in talks, but if not, we're going to have to bypass Canada. Steve Roth said, please correct me if I'm wrong, but one difference is that Royal Caribbean does have loyalty reciprocity agreements with their sister company Celebrity, whereas Carnival does not. You know, I think you might be, actually, I don't know about that. I know that Carnival does not, I can tell you that, but I'm not sure about the reciprocity. Does anybody know? Dina, hello. We have a wonderful content creator in the house, you guys. Dina Cruising Through Life is here. She says, hi, Sherry, finally made it to the party. I'm a little worried about my Alaska cruise on NCL Encore this May. I think you're going to be fine, Dina. I think that the worst case scenario is you might have some itinerary changes. I think it's going to happen. Pat Hobbs says, if Vancouver is still a question mark, I just paid for my cruise on Majestic in May. What happens if they can't get Vancouver? They might move the cruise to like Seattle or cancel it entirely and give you options. But it's too soon to tell. I don't want to alarm anybody, but we have to just be aware that there are still agreements that are trying to be worked out. Hallman 2112 said, Sherry, are you planning on getting on the inaugural sailing of Wonder of the Seas? I'm not. I was invited by Royal Caribbean and I'm not going, unfortunately. I would love to have gone, but it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense for me to go without the family. And I'm having a really busy time at work right now, you guys, so I'm a little bummed, but I'm not. So hopefully we'll get on there as a family soon so we can get the best content for you guys, because you don't want Sherry walking around with a camera trying to do it all. That is not the dream. That is not the best content. Dee Gibson says, what do you expect to happen with East Coast cruises to Canada? We have a fall cruise out of New York going to New England and Canada. That is all being worked out right now. Dee, hopefully we're going to find out soon because we've got those summer months coming and we've got to get that clarified. But the Canadian government is working with the cruise lines and trying to clarify. Karen Carter says, does anyone in the chat or CruiseTipsTV know if there is VIP boarding and debarkation with suites on Carnival asked to upgrade? Right now, no. Right now, you are just boarding by group. So you pick an embarkation time and that is your boarding time, but right now they do not have priority suite embarkation from what I understand. Hopefully it will come back. Karen Warmel said, do we still need to wear masks even if you're vaccinated? Depends on the cruise line. Royal Caribbean has done away with it. Carnival's pretty much doing away with it unless there's certain venues that perhaps are going to be mask required, like if you're going to be in crowded spaces where there's no way that that you can socially distance, those masks might be required. You know what I completely forgot to tell everybody when we logged on today is that after our stream today, you guys, we are going to be, if you're looking at all this new fun cruise stuff in the set tonight, we've invested in some new cruise fun things, some new packing supplies and toys. And we're going to be on Amazon after this talking about those items at 6 o'clock. So we would invite you to go and join us after this live stream for that. If you can't make it, you can still click on the link and look at some of the fun new things that we've purchased, like this cute hat, this cute bag, and this cute bag, and all of my new sunscreens. You can shop it without having to attend. But regardless, I would love to invite everyone who's here, if you're not already following us on Amazon, if you could please just click on the link I just put in the chat and click the follow button over there on Amazon. We'd love to invite you to come see us over there on occasion as well. Okay, Mike Andrews said, is it your opinion that the pre-cruise testing will be gone soon? You know what, Mike? Not that soon. I think it's going to continue to be a part of the process. I think vaccines are going to be required for a while too, but I think we're going to start seeing it kind of, things are going to start fading a little bit. Tommy from Always Big Book said NCL's rule was that you had to wear a mask inside, but it was really only enforced in the dining rooms while standing. That is really good to know, Tommy. Thank you for shedding some light on Norwegians. Joe Mock, thank you for the super chat. Joe just got himself a GoPro, not this Insta360 we're going to be talking about later in our Amazon stream, but he got a cool new toy. Joe said, thank you for your GoPro advice. I got it all and tested it tonight. So much fun in a tiny package. You guys are the bomb diggity. And a super chat gets split between 3 of you. Tell Junior to do the math. I love it. Yeah, $25 divided by 3 equals 3/4 of a pizza on a Friday night, Joe. Thank you so much. Appreciate you so much, and I'm so happy that you got your GoPro. By the way, can I ask you guys a question? And I'm very curious if you noticed. Did anybody notice that I colored my hair differently? I'm quite a bit darker, guys. Do you notice it? I actually, this is the first time I've seen it on camera, and I like it. It's been bothering me all week. I've been thinking it's too dark. But now that I see it, I like it. I'm curious what you guys think. And you know us ladies are sometimes very hard on ourselves. So for me to say I like it is saying something. John Carey, thank you so much for the super chat. John says, hi crew, I love the refresh tips and tricks videos. Will you be doing more of those going on Princess in November? Yes! John, you are speaking to my soul. That is our 2022 mission, is back to the basics of Cruise Tips TV, refreshing our tips and tricks. We want to get back out there in Princess and Royal Caribbean and Holland America and Norwegian, and we want to do it all. I just hope that we can, because right now we're very limited in those cruises. But thank you for the kindness. Thank you for the super chat, and we're going to do our best to do that for you, because that's what we love. Thanks, guys. Oh, I appreciate it. Thanks for the kindness on the hair. I had to ask. Roy, thank you, Roy. You're here. Roy is Jedi, honey. I'm not sure. You knew that. Okay, good. Just want to make sure you knew that. Thank you. Amy says, I love the color. Kathy said, I love the color and cut. Oh, thanks, you guys. Okay, good. Back to questions. I appreciate the hair feedback. I had to ask. Shaylin Owens said, sailing on my first Royal Cruise on Symphony in June, was wondering if the 3-night dining package is worth it for a first non-Carnival cruise, or should I stick to the dining room? Shaylin, 100%. When I talk about Royal Caribbean with people, I always recommend the 3-night dining package. It is absolutely perfect. The only bad thing is you will be very full. It's a lot of food, but other than that, it is so good. Just experience it. I highly recommend it, because that's one of the things we love the most about Royal Caribbean are those specialty dining restaurants. Yes. Michelle DeGroot says, wasn't there a clarification saying 100% of people eligible who can be vaccinated must be, or was La Lita Loca wrong? Michelle, I don't know what cruise line specifically you're talking about, so I'm not sure. And there is very possibly a clarification that came out today. I don't know. Richard P. said, are they increasing capacity? In most cases, you're definitely seeing capacity increase across the lines. Specifically on Royal Caribbean and Carnival, you are definitely seeing that happen. Christina Flores says, any advice on going on first solo? Christina, we have a video on our channel for you. Go to our videos tab and type in solo. We have a solo cruising video completely dedicated to that, and we would love to help you with that. Peggy said, are some countries in Europe still requiring you to quarantine when you arrive? Not that I know of specifically for cruising, Peggy. Steve Ross said, Sherry, what's the latest on vaccine requirements among the big three? Last I heard was several other lines were starting to require boosters as being part of fully vaxxed. Okay, Steve, it's actually, for adults, it's unchanged at the moment. So Carnival's still requiring fully vaxxed, 95%, but Carnival does allow exemptions. Depending on what state you're in, you may need a doctor's note for those exemptions. Carnival is the most liberal with their exemptions. Royal Caribbean is vaccinated for everyone over 12. 5 to 12 can also, don't have to be vaccinated, but can be. And Norwegian has just changed. The most shocking change of all is from Norwegian, and they said kids under 12 will not have to be vaccinated at all. No, the major lines are not yet requiring boosters. Not that I've heard of, unless something happened today from the big three, no boosters required at the moment. Robert Vanover said, what is the current mask policy on MSC Divina Caribbean ports? I was just on MSC's website today, and Robert, I have to be honest, I don't know. I'm going to have to check that out for you on their website. Let me just check. Hang on. I know it's right on the website because I was looking at their vaccination policy, and let me see if we can find those health and safety updates from MSC for you really quickly. Bear with me. I'm sure it won't take long. Most of these websites have the health and safety information pretty front and center. Okay. There, by the way, MSC's vaccination policies are getting more strict. They actually require vaccinations for guests age 12 and up right now. And starting on April 23rd, they also are going to require kids 5 to 12 to be vaccinated. So they're actually getting more stringent. Okay, so until April 22nd, for all ships on MSC departing from U.S. ports, fully vaccinated guests are not required to wear masks at venues designed for vaccinated guests only, such as select bars, lounges, restaurants, shows, spa treatments. So for the most part, if you're vaccinated, you don't have to wear a mask on MSC. If you're not vaccinated and you're like 2 to 12 years old, you have to wear a mask in public indoors. I don't know why this is happening. This is so weird to me. It says beginning April 23rd for ships departing from the U.S. This is MSC. Masks will be recommended, but not required on board in public areas for fully vaccinated guests. Okay, they're basically just saying the same thing in different words, I guess. Okay, Joe Mock said, did anyone do a land see Alaska during COVID protocols? Wondering if Princess will take charge of our testing after your 10 night. They will take charge of that, Joe, almost certainly. I don't know anyone who's done a land and sea combo though during COVID, my friend. I really don't. I wish I had encountered someone. Cynthia's question is, what is the best smelling sunscreen? I used to like the smell of Bain de Soleil. It's right here, my friend. Right now, my new fave is Sunbum, and it is unreal. I found this 15 premium sunscreen tanning oil, and I want to eat it. It's unbelievable. It's so old-fashioned beachy, Cynthia. John Crickmore said, Sherry, my wife and I have an Alaska with Princess. Would it be a good idea to take binoculars and a good DSLR? You know it would. You've been listening to the podcast, John. You're an advanced student. I can tell. Good job, my friend. Kristen Williams said, any plans to sail on Navigator? Kristen, hugely interested in that. West Coast, baby. Definitely want to get back on. I sailed on her for 2 nights in November, and that is unbelievably beautiful. That ship is gorgeous. What they did with it, the amplification is fantastic. So I would love to, Kristen. All right, I'm ready for the question below Kristen's. Bill Byungo, heading on Discovery Princess in 2 months. Part of the package is 1 night of specialty dining. Any suggestions? I can't do seafood. Definitely the steakhouse, Bill. Definitely. Get your money's worth. Do the steakhouse. Mel Stowe said, thinking about trying Wonderland on Ovation, do you think it's worth the cost? 100,000% yes, it's worth the cost. Better yet, Mel, buy the 3-night dining package, make it part of that dining package, and also do the Italian if they have it. Maybe the sushi place too. I mean, there's just so many good options on that ship. Okay, I can't see E. Nixon's full question, but I'm sure we'll get it up there. All right. There we go. Fully vaxxed, meaning 2 shots are boosted. Right now, unless you're talking about like uncruise adventures or smaller lines, fully vaxxed on the mass market cruise lines means 2 shots, not boosted. Michelle said, which of the specialty restaurants on Panorama will be good for kids? It depends on your kid, what they like to eat. Our son likes the Japanese food, he likes the steakhouse, and he liked the Italian. So it just depends on what your little guy likes to eat. But all of them are kid appropriate. And there were families in every single one of them. There are babies and strollers in all 3 of them. Kids of all ages. Yes, Karen, I would be glad to link my top in the chat. In fact, it is in the Amazon Live carousel that I put in there, but that might be a little confusing for you to find. So my friend, I'm going to link it for you right now in the chat. I'd be more than happy to do that. It is from Amazon. I'm wearing a small. I also have this top in a medium in another, what's the word? Another print, and I like the small and the medium. The small just fits a little tiny bit more snugly, I guess you could say. This is an affiliate link, by the way. There it is to the top. Okay, awesome. Otterby Baking, what special items should I take on our first Carnival cruise? I've heard about the theme parties. Glow sticks are good for kids. Depends on the ship, but most Carnival cruises, yes, the glow sticks are great. Most Carnival cruises will have an 80s deck party, and then they'll have a mega deck party where wearing white is optional. However, if you are on Mardi Gras, they also have a Hawaiian-themed tiki party that you want to pack your Hawaiian shirts for. So fun, fun, fun. Socially Mia, I haven't been on Carnival Dream yet. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. I wish I could say that I have, but I haven't yet. I want to get on every Carnival ship that there is. Eventually we will too. Thank you, Shar. Appreciate you. Yeah, you know, E. Nixon, I don't know that the boosters are going to become a thing. It's just really hard to say. Just when I think the vaccinations are going to soften and go away, it's like sometimes they get more intense. It's just so confusing. I'm not really sure. Are we caught up, sweetie? Okay, sounds good. Let me just go ahead and see what questions I see here. Krista Hull said, on Carnival on sea days, is it like going to the beach where you're in your bathing suit all day? And if so, is it too cold on the ship due to wind in the middle of the ocean? Krista, where are you cruising? If you're in the Caribbean, it should be warm most times. And yeah, a lot of times, Krista, you are going to be wearing resort wear, cover-ups, shorts, swimsuits, things like that. But depending on where you're cruising from, you might find that you'll have a chilly sea day or two. So if you're in the Caribbean, yes, warm. Heart Family says, how crowded does a Carnival ship feel in July? I know that it will be crowded, but are there ways to escape the crowds? Yeah, there's always ways to escape the crowds, Heart Family. Will it feel crowded in July? It's going to feel more crowded probably because you're going to have kids out of school. You're going to have some pent-up demand. Carnivals really lower their prices too, which is making the ships more crowded. But yeah, you could go to places like the Serenity Deck for some peace and quiet and get a balcony. Michelle, you booked Las Coletas. Yay, you will not regret it. I'm so glad. You're going to do just fine there. You're going to love it. Jim Ring said, question, my son is going on his honeymoon on the Miracle. Will this be a good ship for late 20s newlyweds? I think so. Miracle is an older ship and it really hasn't had a huge renovation, but it's also a very cool, kitschy, neat ship, and it really is one of our favorites. It has a very nice, easy, walkable layout, and I think they're going to have a lot of fun on it. It's also really laid back, and they'll feel great. Is Carnival Miracle the one that has Nick and Nora's, honey? I think it is. They have a great steakhouse. Treat them, Jim. Treat them to the steakhouse on night one so they can get their free bottle of wine if they drink. If not, still get them in the steakhouse. It's wonderful. Miss Yumiverse said, we're getting married on Celebrity Edge, but I'm worried about photography. Do you usually like the pics taken by cruise photographers? Typically, they are phenomenal because some of these cruise line photographers are photographers by trade, and they do paid sessions with people as well, so you should be very happy with those. Smallville said, do you have a preferred port to leave from in Florida? You know, Miami and Fort Lauderdale are great, but I really liked cruising out of Orlando. I thought that was awesome. It was just, I don't know, I just really enjoyed it. Even though getting to the port is kind of a long haul from the airport, I thought it was so nice. It's just one of my favorites personally. Joe Mock said, there's a difference between Carnival and Royal. My times on Royal, they don't seem to go for parties, is much more focused on entertaining and venues. Yeah, bigger variety of entertainment on Royal Caribbean too. You're gonna have ice skating shows, you're gonna have bumper cars on some, you may be able to go ice skating, you're gonna have a lot of things. Steven said, not happy with the Australian government because cruising is not allowed. I know, it's so rough, Steven, I'm so sorry. E. Nixon said, does anyone have any suggestions for Grand Turk? E. Nixon, a lot of people like to just walk down to Jack's Shack and enjoy the beach area there. I've never been to Grand Turk, but hopefully we'll get to be there sometime and have some more experiences. But yeah, I think you're going to enjoy that. All right. Lynette said, can you recommend a partial versus a full Panama Canal cruise? Is the partial worth it? What lines would you recommend? Okay. Lynette, excellent question. Okay. Don't worry. I've got your back. If you can afford to take the time off for the full transit, do the full transit, you get to see more of the canal. Is the partial worth it? 100% yes, it is, because you still get to see and experience the transit during, you know, in a portion of the canal. We took my mom on that cruise and it was phenomenal. We did a partial, a 10-day. I couldn't take 15 days off of work, so I think it's wonderful. I really like Princess for Panama Canal transits and Holland America, but you could also cruise on any line you love and it will be great. Boy Meets Grit says, after 3 years of planning and cancellation, just made our final payment on our very first cruise to Alaska on Discovery Princess in June. Thank you for your content support in the community, Chad. Chad, that is the best news ever. Discovery is going to be so incredibly beautiful. And I think you're going to love it so much. And I hope that you'll keep us posted on how it goes. Thank you for the super chat. Very kind. All right. Yes, Beachy Mama, you want to see the shirt a little bit more? Yes. It has a tie in the front, as you can see. Right here, it's a little longer in the back. It kind of covers the bum. It's kind of adjustable little tie here. You could just do like a front tuck if you wanted to, but this is what it looks like untied. Let me show you. So you got a lot of like room to play with there. Yeah, and then you can kind of tie it up a little higher if you want to show some midriff, or you can tie it low. I don't like to show my midriff, but you certainly are going to have some fun with it. And you need a good sport strapless bra with it too. So yes, all right. Alrighty, we're gonna wrap up in 4 minutes, guys, so we can get over to Amazon. And we're probably gonna go live a little early on Amazon if we can. Some great questions coming in today. I'm loving this. Shondell says, any tips on getting good deals during Christmas break? Yes, try to book early. Now is the time. Book now. You can either book really early or you can try to book last minute, Shondell. Those are the only two things I can really recommend for you. Also, book a longer cruise. Book a 10-night where, you know, it's not like people are trying to go with their children and they're squeezed into this really small time window, and so it tends to be more glutted. If you can go on a 10 or a 12-night cruise, you're going to see the pricing is more normal. Shaylin Owens said, excursion suggestions for St. Martin. Oh, do I ever. I have got a whole video on St. Martin for you, my friend, because I spent a glorious week there this last year, and I'm going to share with you some suggestions. If you're an adventure seeker, I highly recommend that you do the zipline tour that you're going to see in this video. I'm going to pop it in the chat right now. If you want to just sightsee, there's a great sightseeing bus that you can do. It's called Island Sightseeing. That's a lot of fun. If you want to go to the French side, go to the Tijon Parfumerie. It's wonderful. You get to make your own perfume. You're going to get some great ideas in this video that I've just put in there for you, but St. Martin is an incredibly beautiful place. All right, MRJ12 experience with theme cruises. Oh, I've never been on a theme cruise, but I've heard they're great. I'm sorry. Deandra Riley, aw. Dr. Speak says, what do you suggest as a first-time cruise with kids? Me and wife went on Horizon in January, but want to take our kids later this year. Try Royal Caribbean for sure. Without a doubt, get on Royal Caribbean. You'll love it. There's so much to do for kids. It's going to be really fun for you. Bear Bull Cruising said, have you ever sailed Carnival Freedom? Oh, no, we haven't, but that could be really fun. My dad did a Panama Canal on Carnival, and he said it was really great. He loves Carnival, so I would think that it's probably great. Yes, definitely do. How funny. Dr. Speaks, I hadn't even seen the rest of your comment. Do Royal. Go for it. Socially, Mia said, what's your favorite cruise line? You know what? We have cruised the most with Princess, so we really love Princess cruises, but we also have a soft spot for Carnival. We've cruised a ton with Carnival. We love the MSC Yacht Club product. I always like to tell people Norwegian Bliss is one of the most beautiful ships I've ever been on in my entire life, and we have developed a total love affair with Royal Caribbean. So don't ask me my fave, but I have sailed the most with Princess. Bill Byongo said, in your opinion, what does Princess do Alaska so well? What is it about that cruise line? They have a lot of experience there. There's a lot of options. So you have a lot of choice when you're going. It's not like they necessarily do it better. It's that you have a lot more choices in itineraries and ships and things like that. But I like the fact that they actually heat their pools. I know that's a simple thing, but if I want to go in the pool, I'd like a heated pool, and there are cruise lines who don't do that. So it's just an interesting thing. Karen Wormel said, if you cruise to Hawaii, what do you recommend? I haven't, but I would recommend doing it from the West Coast. Get on one of those 15-nighters and go on Princess. Charles Gomez, going on Vista in October, wanted some suggestions for Belize. General suggestions, either do the ruins or a reef snorkel, Charles. There you go. John Crickmore. John Crickmore, I don't know which cruise line you're looking for the difference with Carnival, but yeah. Maybe Princess are you trying? I'm not sure. MK25, I helped you 5 years ago come up with a way to propose to your wife while you were on a cruise. Oh, you are so welcome. Thank you so much for sharing that. And that is a very, very good comment to wrap up on, you guys. That really made my night. Thank you for that. Man, that is just super cool. So if you want to continue to hang out with us, we're going to jump on over to Amazon. I've just put a link in the chat, and we're going to share a whole bunch of new cruise products with you. We're going to go live over there as soon as we can. So I'm going to go grab a refreshment really quickly, and then we're going to pop up over there. If I missed your question tonight, All you have to do is go over to Instagram or Facebook and follow me at CruiseTipsTV and just send me a direct message, and I'll personally answer your question. So you do not need to worry about that. If I missed you, you will get help. We will help you. All right, guys, we're wrapping up. Big thanks to all of you for showing up tonight and asking some amazing cruise questions. Special thanks to all of our wonderful super chatters tonight. That was super great. And we'll see all of you in just a few moments over on Amazon. Until then, see you on the high seas.
Cruise around the week.